Welcome back, Year 3. We're now on to our third week of looking at The Iron Man by Ted Hughes. From what we've read so far, how do you imagine the Iron Man? What noun phrases could you use to describe the character? Now it's time for a skill change. As always, we'll be working on the skill of defining, but this week we're also working on making comparisons. Remember, defining is simply finding the meaning of words in context. The skill of comparing simply asks you to compare the text you have read to another, or say how it impacts. Let's go over our reading strategies. What do we do when we get to work? Are you ready for a clarification check? The first word today is cliff. Cliff. Can you say cliff? Looking at the picture, what do you think a cliff is? A cliff is a steep rock face, usually found at the edge of the sea. Have you seen a cliff before? Maybe you've visited or heard of the White Cliffs of Dover. To use cliff in a sentence, you could say, on one side was a massive rock cliff covered with green moss. Are you ready for the second word? The second word today is clink. Clink. That sounds funny when I say it. Oh, that's because it's an example of onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is when a word sounds like what it means. What do you think clink means? Well, if objects made of pottery or metal clink, or you clink them, they touch each other and they make a short, light sound. Clink, clink. Can you practice saying clink? Our last word today is skyline. Skyline. The skyline is the line or shape that is formed where the sky meets buildings or the land. The village church dominates the skyline. Can you picture the skyline of Canary Wharf? Let's read together. A big red fox looking towards the dead hen. Hogarth stopped breathing, and the fox stood without moving. Sniff, 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 out towards the hen. But he did not step out onto the trap. Slowly he walked around the wild patch of royal soil till he got back to where he'd started, sniffing all the time out towards the bird. But he did not step onto the trap. Was he too smart to walk out there where it was not safe? But at that moment he stopped sniffing. He turned his head and looked towards the top of the cliff. Hogarth wondered what the fox had seen. Looked towards the top of the cliff. There, enormous in the blue evening sky, stood the Iron Man on the brink of the cliff, gazing inland. In a moment the fox had vanished. Now what? Hogarth carefully, quietly, hardly breathing, climbed slowly down the tree. He must get home and tell his father. But at the bottom of the tree he stopped. He could no longer see the Iron Man against the twilight sky. Had he gone back over the cliff into the sea? Or was he coming down the hill, in the darkness, under the high skyline, towards Hogarth and the farms? But if he went along the fence, eating as he moved, he wouldn't come anywhere near the trap, which was out in the middle of the fields. He could spend the whole night wandering about the countryside along the fences, rolling up the wire and eating it, and never would any fence bring him near the trap. But Hogarth had an idea. In his pocket, among other things, he had a long nail and a knife. He took these out. Did he dare? His idea frightened him. In the silent dusk he tapped the nail and the knife blade together. Clink, clink, clink. At the sound of the metal, the Iron Man's hand became still. After a few seconds, he slowly turned his head, and the headlamp eyes shone towards Hogarth. Again, clink, 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 went the nail on the knife. Slowly, the Iron Man took 3 strides towards Hogarth, and again stopped. It was now quite dark. The headlamp shone red. Hogarth pressed close to the tree trunk. Behind him and the Iron Man lay the wide lid of the trap. Clink, clink, clink. Again, he tapped the nail on the knife. And now the Iron Man was coming. Hogarth could feel the earth shaking under the weight of his footsteps. Was it too late to run? Hogarth stared at the Iron Man looming, searching towards him for the taste of the metal that he had made that inviting sound. Clink, clink, clink went the nail on the knife, and crash! The Iron Man vanished. He was in the pit. The Iron Man had fallen into the pit. Hogarth went close. The earth was shaken as the Iron Man struggled underground. Hogarth peered over the torn edge. Now it's your opportunity to use your reading skills to answer some questions about the text. Remember, at any point you can pause the video and you can write your answers down on paper. Question number 1. Hogarth was trying not to make a sound. What tells you that? Hogarth was trying not to make a sound. What tells you that? Question 2. Why wouldn't he go near the trap? Can you find the sentence? Why wouldn't he go near the trap? Find the sentence. Question 3. What did he have in his pocket? Can you find the words? What did he have in his pocket? Question 4. Why did Iron Man's eyes shine towards Hogarth? Can you find the sentence? Why did Iron Man's eyes shine towards Hogarth? Have you found the sentence? Let's see how you got on. The first question was, Hogarth was trying not to make a sound. What tells you that? We have the part at the start where it says Hogarth stopped breathing, and we stop breathing when we're trying to be silent. So that's one clue that tells us he was trying not to make a sound. We also have the sentence, in the silent dusk, he tapped the nail and the knife blade together, and this continuous clink, clink, clink. The repetitiveness of this onomatopoeia makes us realise that Hogarth only wants the Iron Man to hear the clink and nothing else. He does not want the Iron Man to hear where his whereabouts are, because otherwise he might find him. And Hogarth is already scared of the Iron Man. The second question was, why wouldn't he go near the trap? Find the sentence. So I'm going to look for the word trap and read around it. So, but if he went along the fence, eating as he moved, he wouldn't come anywhere near the trap, which was out in the middle of the field. So he wouldn't go anywhere near the trap if he continued to eat along the fence. The third question was, what did he have in his pocket? Find the word. In the text it says, in his pocket, among other things, he had a long nail and a knife. So what did he have in his pocket? A long nail and a knife. The next question was, why did Iron Man's eyes shine towards Hogarth? Find the sentence. So we can make the inference that the Iron Man eats metal. So when he hears the clink, 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 he associates that sound to an area. The area is where Hogarth is. So he turns his eyes to the area as he's searching for the metal.